guys. Oh, I got funky lighting again. So, there's some really interesting stuff happening astrologically this week, and one of them actually started last week, Saturn Retrograde, which I told you guys I was going to talk about last week, and in true Saturn Retrograde form, I didn't do it. I was busy tending to responsibilities, which I'll explain in a minute, and how that's related to Saturn Retrograde. So, talking about Saturn Retrograde this week, it started last Monday, April 29th, and it will be retrograde until September 18th. So quite a while. Gosh, this is weird. Different time of day gives me weird lighting. Okay, so Saturn Retrograde started last Monday, April 29th, and it will be retrograde through September 18th. So what does this mean, right? I know you guys are all familiar with the infamous, hi, let me know you're watching, say hi. I can see one person over there on Facebook. Don't be shy. Lurkers. Okay, so Saturn retrograde. So what does this mean? I know you guys are all familiar with the infamous Mercury retrograde. Saturn retrograde is different, right? So Saturn is the ruler of Capricorn, and Saturn is like the god of time and the god of, hi Jamie, the god of old age, right? So Saturn is kind of like the father figure, like the authority figure. Hi Steve. Thanks for watching. So, okay, so Saturn is like the father figure, the authority figure. The tarot card that I associate with Saturn is the Emperor. Also very like authoritarian. So think of this. Saturn has like a feeling of like, it can have a little bit of a feeling of heaviness to it, of responsibility. You know, think of when you were a kid and you were like super, super excited about something and you go and tell your parents about it and they just kind of rain on your parade. Or they drop a dose of reality on you and it totally sucks, right? Like you may not necessarily wanted to hear it, but like the parent that just drops the cold hard truth and the dose of reality, and it kind of just like fucks up your game. That's Saturn. Okay, so but don't worry. I mean, it doesn't mean that our game's gonna be all fucked up until September. It's not the case. So just trying to explain that Saturn is like this. It can have a little bit of a heavy responsibility feeling to it. It can also be very mature, right? Hey Smitty. So Saturn is about like time and about old age. It's about leaving a legacy, what legacy you want to leave. It's about self-respect. It's also very scientific and analytical. It can be about healing. It can be about karma. You know, karma, like instant karma. That's like a quick instant dose of the cold hard truth, right? Karma smacks you in the face like that. That's very Saturnian as well. What else? Okay, so this is a big one. Saturn, also, like the parent, the authoritarian parent that drops the cold hard truth on you and gives you a dose of reality, Saturn can make you aware of or make you have or place restrictions and limitations on yourself. So limiting beliefs are very Saturnian, right? And limiting beliefs can, like everything, they can keep us stuck, or they can keep us safe, or they can do both at the same time. So the whole purpose of Saturn retrograde, what it's calling us to do with it, like with every retrograde, we're being called to go within and reflect within on something, and it's in Capricorn. So Saturn is retrograde in Capricorn, and Saturn also rules Capricorn. So this is a good thing. This is very helpful in calling all of us to go within and see what our limiting beliefs are, see where we've placed limiting beliefs on ourselves, see where those limiting beliefs are keeping us stuck from moving forward, to see where these like doses of reality that we can either give ourselves or that other people give or place on us, how they're keeping us from manifesting the outcome that we want. So Saturn retrograde is also a time to get some clarity on what actions it is that you need to take to move towards your goals. So this is what we need to be going in and reflecting on. So reviewing your limiting thoughts, reviewing your limiting beliefs, going within and realizing and reviewing what it is that's blocking you from moving forward in whatever area of your life that you may feel stuck. This is what Saturn retrograde is calling for us to do and helping us be able to do. And also getting clarity on what the most effective actions are, and the most effective steps are for us to take in order to reach our goals or whatever outcome it is that you're going for. Okay, so that's Saturn retrograde. Quick and easy, right? We can do this, and we've got lots of help to do this through September, so take advantage of it. I wanted to do a quick review also because we also have 2 other planets that are retrograde, and I've already done videos on them, so you can go back and see those videos if you want. But since we're here, and I feel like it's very helpful to mention all 3 of them at the same time because they are now all 3 retrograde at the same time. And I feel like they're working well together with each other. Pluto is also retrograde through October 3rd. And that, as a reminder, is a time to reflect on our inner power and our inner strength, where we have power and where we don't have power, where we have control over things and where we don't have control over things. Pluto, again, is also like the god of the underworld and can bring about destruction. And so Pluto retrograde is a time to go within and reflect on what it is that we need to let go of. What it is that's maybe even if we're holding on very tightly to something and not letting go of it, Pluto can sometimes come in and just destroy it for us, right? Because it's something that we needed to let go of and just couldn't. So reflecting on those things, and being able to let go of them so that you know, the rug's not pulled out from under us. And even if it is, then reflecting on that too. That's okay. So it's about transformation. It's about going within and looking at your own inner darkness, whatever you consider to be like dark or shameful, and transforming those things. So that's Pluto retrograde. So it's working well also because I feel like, you know, Saturn retrograde and Pluto retrograde are working well together, in that for some people, it may very well be those limiting beliefs may be those dark thoughts about yourself that are holding you back. So they're working well together there. Okay, Jupiter is also retrograde until August 11th. So Jupiter retrograde is a time to review your beliefs and your mindset and your thoughts. Like, why do I believe this, right? This is something maybe I've been doing, reviewing the things that you do and the things that you think and believe. So why do I believe these things? Like, maybe it's something that you learned a long time ago and you've just done forever without even questioning why you believe it or why you do it. And so with Jupiter going retrograde, this is calling for you to go within and review those things and see if they're helpful or see if they're holding you back, because those things may also be limiting beliefs for you or limiting actions for you, and Saturn's helping us to work through those as well. What else? Again, so Jupiter retrograde, do your beliefs and your actions make your problems bigger, or do they make your outcomes bigger? And so again, like reflecting on those things, all these 3 planets working together in retrograde are, or these 3 planets in retrograde are working very well together for transformation and helping us move forward and break through limiting thoughts and beliefs and reaching our goals and outcomes. So that's super cool. Okay, 2 more quick little things that I just want to mention on. Today, Mercury, the messenger god, the planet that rules communication and thoughts and technology, moved out of the sign of Aries and moved into Taurus, where it will be until May 21st. So what does this mean? This is just sort of collectively shifting what we're thinking about. So in general, people are probably going to start thinking about things more Taurus related now that Mercury's in Taurus. And what is that? Taurus is, so Taurus is awesome. I'm biased, of course, because I'm a Taurus. And we've got a lot going on in Taurus right now too, so that's pretty awesome. Okay, so Mercury moving into the sign of Taurus is shifting our thinking and the things that we talk about to be more about comfort and quality over quantity and the things that we like. So thinking about what we like, thinking about what makes us feel good, thinking about what we enjoy, and then talking about those things. So our thoughts are shifting towards that direction. Yep, that's the shift. That's the shift for Mercury through May 21st, and then it will be moving into oh my gosh. Brain fart. Okay, it'll be moving into another sign. The one after Taurus. My mind just totally went blank there because I was thinking about a couple other things that I want to tell you about. Okay, so this week we also have Mars in opposition to Jupiter. And I wanted to mention this because I do always try to put how to handle a difficult situation, to try to put a positive spin on things because yes, we have astrology, and yes, things can be difficult. Life can be difficult at times. There may be things to work through. And we have free will. So how we handle it matters because you have a choice on how to handle it, right? Always, with everything. So Mars opposition Jupiter is a little uncomfortable. It's an aspect of tension. And so there may be a feeling for a lot of people this week, a feeling of being torn between wanting to get stuff done. This is Mars, the action taker, the doer, wanting to get stuff done, and having faith that it's all just going to work out. This is a tricky thing to maneuver a lot of times for people. Like, when should I take action, right? Should I do this? Should I force this? Should I make it happen? Hi, Kathy. Or should I just sit back and relax and wait and have faith that, it's all going to work out somehow? Because both are accurate to a large degree. But this week, because of this Mars and Jupiter opposition, there may be an internal struggle that some of you guys are feeling between doing this or waiting and just trusting that it'll all work out somehow. Okay, so how each of you handles this is going to be different and up to you, and a choice based on your own free will. But I wanted to just add that one way that could be helpful to maneuver some of this is to just constantly focus on being present in each moment this week. Sure, this is something we should all do all of the time anyways, but to really kind of heighten our awareness of the present moment this week could be helpful in easing the feeling of being torn between needing to do something or really wanting to do something, or really wanting to just hands off and let go and let God, and have faith that it will all work out somehow. So no beating yourself up if you feel like you've made the wrong choice in any moment, because you can always make a new choice. And throughout the week, your feeling of being torn between these two things will fluctuate fairly quickly probably, and you can change your mind in a second if you feel like you need to. So this is what I mean by be present. Be present to the moment and what feels right in the moment. So if right now in this moment you feel like you're needing to get something done and take action on it, then go for it, do it, but act immediately, because you could very quickly feel differently, right? And if you do feel differently very quickly, you can change and let go and let God then, right? Nothing is set in stone this week. So this feeling of being torn between those two things is probably going to be a little bit uncomfortable, but you get to decide, and I want that to be an empowered decision as opposed to stress and unable to make a decision. I hope that makes sense for you guys. Okay, so that's the last thing I wanted to touch on, and a teeny tiny preview. Where are my notes? Teeny tiny preview. There's one more thing that's happening this week that's really, really, really big. And I'm not going to include my information on it yet because it's so big. I'm going to do a separate video on it by itself. And this is something I've never seen before. So I'm really doing some... Hold on, sweetheart.
What do you have to do?
No, go. I will be done in just a minute.
Something.
Simon, I'll be done in just a minute. torn between having to do something right now and let go and let God, that everything will be okay. Oh, perfect example. Okay, so just a quick preview of another video I'm going to be doing next. I'm hoping to be able to do it tomorrow. It'll either be tomorrow or Wednesday, because this is happening on May 9th, which I think is Thursday. And it's unique and it's new to me, so I'm really trying to do a lot of research and make sure that I'm interpreting it accurately. And I'm kind of excited about it because this is like big. So a lot of times, you guys know, I talk to you about, something fairly simple, like Mercury is moving out of Aries and into Taurus, or Saturn is retrograde, Pluto is retrograde, like Jupiter is retrograde, Mars is opposition Jupiter. These are very simple aspects that involve like one planet or two planets, right? And this is something really, really big that I was shocked to find today. So I'm doing lots of research just to make sure that I'm interpreting it accurately and I'm understanding it and I'm able to communicate it well. So what it is May 9th, around 9:38 a.m. Mountain Time, the planet Eris, which is a dwarf planet. Pluto is now considered a dwarf planet as well, so it's not big. It's about the size of Pluto, and it's further out than Pluto. And it was interesting to see it takes over 500 years to travel around the sun. 500 Earth years, over 500 and some, I don't remember. So it's very small, around Pluto's size. And this planet is going to be conjunct Venus and a whole bunch of other things. So Eris will be conjunct Venus, trine Jupiter, sextile Mars, square Saturn, square Pluto, square the North Node, square the South Node, semi-square the part of Fortune, and semi-square Lilith. What? That's a lot. I've never seen that much. Not that it's never happened before. I'm sure it has. I just haven't come across it. And so I'm really kind of excited to talk about this and figure out what it all means too, because we're all very familiar with our close planets and even our far away planets that go out as far as Pluto. But Eris is a planet that isn't always talked about that much, and it's small and a dwarf planet, which is probably why. But so in astrology, the closer a planet is to Earth, the more it will affect us on a personal level. So like Mercury, Venus, Mars, those are very close to us, right? So they will affect us individually very, very strongly. The planets that are further away, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, Pluto, those planets are further away, and so they have more of an overall global effect on each other, or on the planet, right? They do affect us individually, yes. So Eris is so far out that I'm talking about this, and I told you guys I wasn't going to. I'm excited, can you tell? This is interesting, and this is very new for me too. So anyway, it's far out. It's far out. I'm not saying that like a hippie. It is far away from the Earth. And so it does have like a really big impact though. And there's potential for it to be global as well as on an individual level. So I am still researching some of this stuff because it's a lot. Eris, conjunct Venus, trine Jupiter, sextile Mars, square Saturn, square Pluto, square the North Node, square the South Node, semi-square part of Fortune, and semi-square Lilith. So there will be lots of explaining to do, and this is why I'm going to be doing it in its own separate video, probably tomorrow, depending on what all I find out, possibly Wednesday. But it's happening May 9th in the morning, around 9:30 a.m. Mountain Time. And I'm excited to find out more about what this means and then be able to share it with you guys. So stay tuned and hang in there. Know that these 3 retrograde planets are working very well together to help us move through some stuff. And know that this week, that if you're torn between wanting to get stuff done and to let go and let God, just be present in each moment and make the decision for that moment and act on it in that moment. And if you need to change it in the next moment, you can. Okay, that's it for now. I love you guys. See you later.